All I know is it's going to be so bad that the military in all the major cities everywhere will be literally the president. They will be policing everything.
But what would be the incentive for the soldier?
Because it's our fucking country, dude. Oh, no.
That's a false idol. There's no country. We're all one. There's only one country, Earth.
No, I live in America. Whenever I see the flag, I put my hand on my heart and I say I pledge allegiance. I see it 10 times, I do that. If I'm a military or the Marine, you're fucking right. I'll have my gun. I'll be in the street or in the tank and save my fucking city or my country. Sorry, you're not paying me. I'm not going to go do it.
I would never call myself American. I'm a human being.
I am a human being. I am a human being that lives in America, where freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
that's what that.
But America doesn't give you that freedom. God gave you that freedom. It says it right in the Bill of Rights. God gave you that, not America. So I would stand and fight for that. I would be the one shooting those soldiers that are fighting for the empire, because they're the ones trying to take your rights away. Cosmic energy.
Oh my God, that's funny because I'm driving. I'm like, yeah, perfect time.
Yeah.
Well, and we just had like some solar activity that was getting.
It's still happening. 5 days after, for sure. Big solar, lunar eclipse on Friday.
I want a T-shirt that says auspicious.
Yeah, I'll make you one.
Well, I don't know how to spell it.
You got to get a boycott the dollar shirt.
When you close the door.
Or fuck the dollar.
Yeah, same thing.
What have you guys been up to?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the end of the world.
What about you?
Not the end of the world as we know it.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's what we mean.
Oh, listen to it.
I know. It is. Dude, it's so fucking. It's such a pleasure.
I want to go sit out in it and just.
Oh, man. The fucking signs, you know? Oh, signs everywhere, signs.
And he sings.
Oh, my gosh.
My name of my band is Auspicious.
Nice. That's a good name.
You in a band, Todd?
What?
You in a band?
No.
Look at more of a band manager.
Band manager.
Nice.
You'd be a great band manager.
Oh, I really would.
What have you been up to?
Just being a hermit.
Heard that. Yeah. Yeah, as the energy gets more intense, it's best to just go within.
Yeah, I work
prepare.
and just.
How is work?
Work's amazing.
Is it? Nice. You know, Jan and Brian came over the other day.
I love them.
Me too.
It was their anniversary.
Oh, really? When?
Last week was their anniversary.
Nice. Oh, I gotta send them a message then.
Dude.
I love them.
They're good people.
You know, me and Brian have the same birthday.
Really?
Yep, June 25th.
I'm June 17th.
Oh, you're Gemini and we're Cancer.
Cancer.
Yep.
I always say I'm Cancer cusp because Cancers are cool.
Are.
Because people say, Gemini, you're crazy. I'm like, no, I'm Cancer cusp. So I have some good Cancer qualities.
Yeah.
So I'm not totally Gemini nuts.
And so then I must, because I'm right on the cusp too, and I know I'm fucking crazy.
Oh, I'm crazy, but
I think
have
I'm
some
a
good
Virgo, Cancer, right?
Now, Leo comes before Virgo. So you'd be on the cusp, though. You're right on the cusp of Leo, Virgo, for sure.
Know,
but you're ascending, or your, what the other sign is?
Yeah, I thought it was Cancer.
Oh, could be. You know, in fact, I'll have to send you guys both the guy. I found this guy on Instagram. I'm going to buy one of his readings, but he does numerology. The Golden State Warriors hired him years ago. He works for the Golden State Warriors. They've won 2 of their championships because of him.
Yeah, numerology is amazing.
Big time. And so I just was dicking around on his Instagram page yesterday, and you know who he was interviewing? Joe Rogan's dad, real dad. Apparently, Joe Rogan hasn't spoke to his dad since he was a kid.
My sun is a Virgo and my moon is a Cancer.
Nice. And what's your other one?
Libra.
Oh, wow. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so just running through it. I got sun is Virgo, moon is Cancer, ascendant is Libra.
What are you looking at to find all that?
Co-star.
Remember when we went out that one night? We all did it. Yeah, you have it too.
I don't remember any of it.
Mercury is Libra, Venus is Cancer, Mars is Aries, Jupiter is Gemini.
You get all that just from your birthday? Do you have to have the time of your date?
Time too.
See, I don't know the time.
Oh, then maybe you didn't
on my
go
birth
balls
certificate.
deep.
I couldn't.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know what all that means, but
Some incredible shit.
For sure.
I think
People have no idea.
For sure. That's why I want to get that guy's reading. Because he talks about, and it made me think of you, people born on the 5th.
Yeah.
Or not born on the 5th. Yeah, it is born on the 5th. Born on the 5th are the most attractive.
Oh, wow.
And then born on the 25th, the smartest. So he would say, like, hey, I've asked a bunch of teachers, people born on like 1st, 12th, 25th, those are all the smartest people. People born on the 5th and some other fucking days are the most attractive. And then, but he goes through all these things. Oh, we better be picking that shit up. Oh my God. So what do you think?
About what?
The world. The Matrix.
People...
Do you think anybody's ready?
People have no clue.
No fucking idea.
And it's amazing because I remember before it was the last president in politics, people were always talking shit about politics. But now you don't see not one person mentions one word about anything. Like people don't talk about politics. And they used to all the time. Fuck you if you like so and so and blah, which is good. But people don't. It's just weird. But nobody talks or brings up.
You've been posting a lot of shit lately. Just, like about fucking sex trafficking, about like pedos, like a lot of stuff. So I always wonder, like, is your messenger just filled with fucking people talking shit?
Not one person.
Really?
Where are you getting it then?
What?
Where are you finding this stuff then?
Well, that's what I do. Everything that I find is very credible. And if you back it up and look at anything that comes out of my mouth, it's not hearsay. It's backed up by factual shit that I've been given from what it just is.
Do you think that stuff has been going on forever though?
Centuries.
Century. In fact, I've got a great book for you.
Because here's what people don't understand. If you're an athlete, if you're a politician, if you're whatever, the powers that be, the puppet masters, whatever you want to call them, you're allowed to get to a certain level.
Right.
But if you want to exceed to the other level, they bring you in like eyes wide shut. They show you stuff. Mm-hmm. And you partake or you don't.
And if you don't, they just discredit you. If you speak out, they'll probably discredit you.
Or they'll kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Because it's all satanic. It's all very satanic.
Yeah.
And what's the worst way to get back at God is through sacrificing, raping, killing, eating a child or a baby.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing to God.
Wow, yeah, that's true. The most pure. Yeah, that's very true.
Adrenochrome, all that stuff has been right in our face. It's in the movies. It's everywhere you look. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, and then, I mean, like you were saying, so many people are just so still asleep that once you start waking up, you see it. It's everywhere.
Well, when you really wake up, when you get to the point where you're like, that's ridiculous. Oh, my God, that can't be. Which is people who are clueless are still asleep. If you tell them that, it's so far-fetched and so evil and sick, well, there's no way it can be true. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Right.
You talk about underground tunnels, and it's unbelievable.
If you had to guess, who do you think are the bloodlines at the very top?
I don't think people always say the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, they're there, but there's like dark nobility that are above them that we don't even know their names.
Wow, yeah. So there's this book that I have another friend, Leslie, who told me to read this book called The Alchemy of Nine Dimensions. And what it talks about is for around 2,000 years, these bloodlines that you're talking about, what they learned is they learned how to master these higher dimensions of symbols. And they're using those symbols to manipulate this third dimension, to manipulate the people, to get them to do what they want. And through that also, they're doing these things that you're talking about. Because it's always been around, sacrificing virgins, pedophilia has been going on in the Roman Catholic Church for thousands of years.
Before that, the Greeks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they talk about that shit all the time back in the day. In fact, I was reading a book about Spartans, and until a boy turned 12, it was normal to have sex with them, and then as soon as they turned 12, they were considered an adult male, and they would stop having sex with them and shit.
Whoa.
Well, remember the Catholic priest that got caught years and years ago and went to jail? Well, one of my clients works at the office where all the records and all the blah, blah, blah go through.
Oh, yeah, here
when
in
the
town.
SWAT team or whoever went to arrest him, he didn't know they were coming. When they got him, he was watching, she told me this, he was watching baby rape porn. That's what he was doing when they got baby rape porn. Yeah, baby rape porn exists, raping babies, and then it kills them.
Yeah. Oh my God. Do you think that they've just, because another thing I've heard is let's say even these higher up royal families that we have heard of, let's say they've been desensitized. When they have a child, they bring them in to see it.
Yes, I remember about 15 years ago, I went to Mount Shasta. They had a big UFO, this type of stuff conference there. I listened to a lady who's older now. Her parents were king and queen of some obscure Finland, some obscure country but they were king and queen. She said that when her and her brother were small, 5, 6 years old, they were brought to tunnels underneath the Vatican, and you witness a baby being throat slit, blood put in cups. They literally take bites out of the baby, drink the blood, to desensitize them. So it's it's no big deal.
Yeah, the first time you see it, you're in shock, but then you keep seeing it, you become and then it's your turn to partake.
And then later up, she said they have other ones when you get whatever, where you go to a place, well, they'll bring 5, 6 year olds out and they'll dehead them, and you have to take chunks out of the cheek, out of the ears. You have to drink the blood. They have sex and the blood on the stage of the baby with the kids. It's nothing to them. I mean, they have hunting parties at castles in the middle of nowhere in Europe, where they release kids naked out in the woods and they hunt them down. It's like animals.
Oh my God! It's just I don't want to believe it.
No, but it's mind blowing.
It is mind blowing.
But it's true.
Do you think that their cycle of rule is coming to an end?
Yep.
You do?
Back, Jack.
Nice, because I would fucking love to kill them, because that shit's just.
Well, it's been going on for centuries, and it's I mean, the amount of evil is, I mean, there's women who they keep in cages and tunnels. All they do is get them pregnant. They're baby making machines, and then they give the babies. They sell the babies to, and she's a Chief Justice Roberts. Epstein helped him get his boys, but not to raise. He's a pedophile. They get little boys, they get little kids, and the rich share them. It's like, I'm a pedophile, and I have a little boy who I adopted.
Right.
It's okay. You want me to fly him out to your house? You want him for the weekend? Sure, fly him out. We're having a party. We'll rape him and...
I did recently see a video, because I don't really watch a lot of this stuff. I'm just kind of trying to pay attention to the financial markets, and a lot of this stuff is pretty heavy. But every once in a while, I do go down a rabbit hole.
Oh, I live in a rabbit hole.
Yeah, and I watched.
I'm a rabbit.
I did see that on Epstein's Island, underneath the tennis courts and shit, that there's a bunch of fucking burial grounds and shit, and they haven't even released.
Now, someone bought it recently.
Epstein has an island. The real Joe Biden, who's dead, Biden's dead, has an island not far from him. They both their islands have submarine ports, underground, whatever. Ghislaine Maxwell happens to have a submarine license, where she can actually pilot a submarine.
What?
Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you.
Wait, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask you.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Because a lot of this stuff obviously is in over my head, even, I've heard, every once in a while I run into some alien type shit, and I've heard you talk about it.
It's a whole nother.
Yeah, exactly. But do you really think that these people are like advanced beings, and then they, or like, how does all of that correlate?
If who is?
These higher families or whatever.
The ones doing this atrocious shit.
You should, if you get a chance, you should listen to any interview that Laura Eisenhower gives. She's the granddaughter of President Eisenhower. Uh-huh. The most brilliant, educated. She talks about all this stuff. Yes. So because here's you've heard of reptilians. Reptilians are real.
Yeah.
Reptilians have never left.
The moon people. The moon's hollow.
Well, the moon is hollow, but they're not the moon people. Reptilians live. The reptilians are here. Reptilians can shapeshift. Reptilians are real. And so the reptilians live off of, it's called loosh. Loosh is negative energy. Baby getting raped, anything, like literally, if I was a reptilian and you were getting murdered, the negative energy, it's like food to me.
Right.
So all these people, Illuminati, New World Order, here's reptilians, they serve them. So the more evil and the more corruption and the more whatever that is caused and created, it feeds them.
Because can you just? It just makes me so sick to imagine like my Noah. Fuck, man. Oh my God.
I got a kid on the way, man.
Yeah. It just. Oh my God. I can't even. But then eat all these other kids that are.
Well, we're nothing to them. Why do you think
exactly?
Why do you think they poison our food? Why do they think that they have cancer cures, but we can't have them because death, money, greed, evil.
Well, to that point, you know, if this is a scale, and if the peasants are drinking the poison water and the poison food, then Trump has to be a little higher up that scale. Why is that motherfucker eating McDonald's every day?
You have to ask him.
Oh,
and
So do you think that Trump is like a good guy? Because I tend to think
he's beyond a good guy.
But wasn't his like dad or his family was related to the Nazis?
His uncle, no. I mean, maybe, but Hitler could be my uncle or great uncle. Doesn't mean I'm evil.
Yeah,
that's a great point. Great point.
But I have never heard that.
Yeah, because I just saw today that the House of Windsor, they're actually Germans.
Oh yeah, they're evil.
Well, yeah.
Prince William and Prince Harry aren't even Charles's children.
Interesting.
Queen Elizabeth did not want him. She did not want Charles to have kids because she considered him like a homely mutt.
Why?
Well, because look at him.
But where didn't she birth him?
But they weren't. He's not the father of either one of them.
Oh no! I mean that.
Oh, she gave birth to the babies, but they weren't his kids. He didn't father those kids.
No. Queen Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, she
gave birth to Charles, but she didn't want Charles to have children. But why? Because that's how you pass on. I don't know the detail. It's true, but their bloodline is so it's fucked up. You think it was because of Diana and because she was like clashed with that family.
Yeah, but they wanted him to marry her for a reason.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean
but the whole royal family. Why was the royal family best friends with? I can't remember his name. The creepy dude who was a known, proven pedophile. They're best friends with him. If you're the royal family, you're king and I'm the queen. You're really gonna be friends with a pedophile?
Well, if I'm into it,
and you're gonna knight him. And and there's pictures of him hanging out in the cars and the Rolls Royce, and he wasn't royalty.
Yeah, who's that guy that they're always talking about?
You know, he's got the white hair, the glasses. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Jimmy Savile.
Okay, yeah, I'm talking about someone else who's. I mean, it just seems like they're getting more and more shit on this. He's an actual royal, tied with Epstein
and Prince Philip.
That's right, Philip.
Prince Philip said when he dies, I want to come back as a plague and wipe out everybody. I want to come back as a plague.
What? Wow, these people are wild ass people,
dude. And there's people out there that fucking, you know, when the Queen died, it was like the end of.
Yeah, but she had been dead for over a year before they said that she was dead.
Oh wow.
What? Why? Actually, I think, again, going back to this numerology guy, he was saying they do everything by numbers.
Everything is by a number.
In fact,
you know that the day that Prince Charles got coronated, it was like the 6th day, the 6th month, the 6th whatever, 666. It's all
would be 555 though.
666.
6 like is June.
No, it was like the 6th. Queen Elizabeth had been in 6 months.
Oh, it was the 6th, yeah.
6.
Because he was going over through China. Like, China had the Olympics. Like, they did it. It was, in fact, they started their like, I don't know what you would call it, the Olympic start at this exact, like, 8:08 p.m. Like, it was exactly on the dot. Yeah.
Everything. It's all symbolism.
Yes, exactly.
And they always say that, like, Q says symbolism will be their downfall.
Well, that goes back to, again, like, these bloodlines, because symbols are of a higher dimension. So they know how to use the power of those dimensions to manipulate this third dimension. And the three
most satanic cities in the world, symbolism. Washington, D.C., the Vatican, and London.
Interesting. Oh, my gosh, man. Some wild shit.
But getting back to, what's getting ready to happen is, especially in America, it's like it's gonna blow everybody's mind.
What do you think? Like, if you had to guess, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, one of my clients, his name was 107. You can look him up or watch his YouTube. He doesn't show his face. From maybe doing his hair once a month, I think he's like a military lawyer, because he's been in my chair where he's done conference calls, where he's listening to like high end people. He doesn't talk, but he listens in, so he kind of navigates to whatever. Everything he says is right.
Well, and I did hear recently, and I don't know where I heard it from, that there's like some military court that's been going on or coming up here that like no
Here's
one
the
even...
thing. When Obama was president, he shut down Guantanamo Bay. He cut off all of our military. Why would you do that? Because he's an evil motherfucker, hates America, not even an American citizen. Anyway, when Trump was president, he put almost over $500 million into building up Guantanamo Bay. Why would you do that? And if this Biden dude was really commander-in-chief, he can't shut it down because he doesn't have the power. There's a difference between the president and commander-in-chief. Commander-in-chief is who the military listen to, which is still Trump. How? Well, you say we're all three of the highest generals, and we're Americans. We're not corrupt. We're not communists. We're not sold out by China. When you have all this evidence, and you know there's an election coming up, and you know that China and the Vatican and Italy are going to steal the election. They're going to cheat with their computers and their satellites. So if you know that, you sit back and you watch it happen in real time. Trump even put something into play saying that any country that does that, I can't remember what it's called. They knew that was going to happen. So they watched it happen. Make a long story short, they have all the proof of voter fraud. They have all the proof of whatever. They're letting all this bullshit nonsense play out. The shit show is going on. It's going to get worse.
They basically sat there like malware and just accepted new passwords, new information, and now they're going to bring everything down?
Well, so the military, the real military knows that Trump is commander-in-chief. If you watch when Biden has inauguration, it was a CGI. There was nobody there. You could prove all that. And when Trump left on the day that Biden was inaugurated, he said he's never conceded, not one time. He said, I have to go away for a while. That's all he said. So make a long story short. They're letting all this shit storm play out. It's going to get really, 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 really bad. So the military will be the president. The National Guard, the military will run and take care of all the chaos that's getting ready to happen. Because if Trump was reinstated or came back, they would blame it all on him. So he's just going to be, you won't even hear from him. But it's going to get bad. Oh, yeah. I think Wednesday or Thursday, Biden, the Act 42, whatever, that Trump put to protect our borders from drug dealers, terrorists, Biden, it's done. There's 700,000 illegal aliens from all around the world getting ready. Whenever that is abolished, they're just going to take over.
When is that?
This week.
This week?
Thursday.
But, I mean, this week.
Yep.
Huh.
Well, this week is when that thing that Trump put in order, Biden declares it's null and void now. It's no longer good.
Interesting.
So what does that, like, why are they letting shit hit the fan? Why do you think?
Well, because this could be like a near-death experience for all the people who are stupid and retarded and blind to wake them up. Look, this is what you voted for.
But hasn't it been progressive? I mean, in my eyes, it's been getting worse and worse and worse since its inception. I would say especially since the creation of the dollar in 1913. It's been progressively getting worse. Every president, in my opinion, has gotten worse.
Yes, but when Donald Trump was president, it got better.
I don't believe that.
Why? Was there already wars?
Well, let's look at it like this.
Gas was less than $2.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
It all matters.
Donald Trump created as much debt. In fact, up until Trump, he created the most debt. He created and printed more dollars than any other preceding president, even more than Biden at this.
I don't believe that that's true. But regardless of it is, the state of our country when he was president for 4 years was the best it's been since I've been alive. I'm 57.
I mean, I agree to this.
I mean, now World War III, all these countries, we're like a third world country, dude. You can turn 6 years old and you can have sex changes for 6 years old. You can do all this bullshit. Are you seriously? No.
No, I think that but I think even with my opinion is
when you're making our country energy independent and doing all this amazing stuff, bringing everything back to our country was what he was doing.
Yeah, I think it was like a blip in the thing, in the, I don't know what you would want to call it, like the wave, the cosine wave, but I'm of the belief that everything is unfolding more perfectly than we could ever understand.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, 1,000,000%. So absolutely.
Like you were saying, like Biden... I don't even say Biden, because again, like my thing is that to believe that just one person like a Donald Trump can fix the whole thing, that's a savior complex.
Absolutely, but it's the truth.
I don't believe it's
I believe it. I know it for a fact. And it's not him all by himself. It's his mentality. Donald Trump didn't I'm going to run for president. Donald Trump was asked by the military years ago to run for president. Nobody owns him. He didn't take not one campaign contribution, zero. Only president to give his salary away to charity. Only president to lose money as a president.
Then I guess like
he lost $2 billion of his own money as president.
Sure, but I guess we would have to see like what will happen, because again, like this is recorded, so we'll have this record to go back to. Is if he was so great, then you would think that when Biden's term is over, he will easily be reelected.
There won't even be an election.
I think shit will collapse before then.
There will not be a presidential election. There'll be an election for governors and blah 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 blah. When they say,
how would there not be a presidential?
Because he's still president.
Who's he?
Donald Trump. He's commander in chief.
All right. I mean,
you'll see, my brother.
Yeah.
Well, and then how does this all connect? Because I know that you brought this up in the past. Because we talked at dinner. What was that?
Oh my God! Last. Forever.
Yeah, last
way too long.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. But you were saying in November some alien shit was going to happen. So how does this all connect and coincide with the Galactic Federation or whatever?
Well, I believe that there is a galactic. I believe whenever you watch a Star Trek or a Star Wars, anything in science fiction, there's some reality to it.
Oh yeah, I agree.
There is some
totally.
In Star Wars where they have that giant room and there's thousands of aliens. Like a congress of them, and there's the two main aliens. That shit's real.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing, but I believe that something bad's gonna happen. Either a false nuclear war, a fake alien invasion is gonna happen. I listened to an interview with this guy. I can't remember his name, but he was like head of the CIA for like 25 years. He said that if and when they do the fake alien invasion, this is the extent that they would take it to, that they would literally shoot down passenger planes and blame it on aliens. Because which they would. I mean,
of course. They blew up if they would take down 2 buildings, because those weren't planes. It was CGI. It was not planes.
No,
what do you mean CGI? I think they were controlled blasts.
Well, they were controlled blasts, but they had CGI.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So if you would go to that extent.
Of course.
So you know what I mean?
Like you said, human life, it has no value. So you got just cattle.
So you got to think the real military that go by the Constitution, who protect our country with everything, is say we're a room full of the top generals of the world, and we know that the Clintons and the Bidens and the Bushes, all these corrupt motherfuckers, sold our country out to China. You're not going to be like, nothing we can do. You got to go somewhere, bunker, and figure out some shit. Like, what we got to, you know what I mean? To take them down.
But then you have to. But it goes always for me, just from where the three of us are sitting right now, because we're not those generals, is that again, like, the Clintons, the Bidens, all these people, they are playing their role in the video game.
Yes.
Every person,
the fake ones are.
It doesn't, real or fake.
Exactly.
Every character is playing their exact part in this perfect unfolding of consciousness evolution.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, just like you said, there's so many people. I would say even 90% of the whole planet's population are still asleep.
Oh.
And they need something catastrophic to happen to wake them up.
And this is why my client 107 says there's going to be a near-death experience for America. Because like all the other countries, if America falls, the world falls.
100%.
Because it's true. Yeah. So yes, it's going to get so bad. That's going to happen.
So I think, and my whole thing is, I think the linchpin is the dollar.
Oh, that's the linchpin. Absolutely.
And I think that they're desperately, I think it's out of their control.
It is.
It's out of their control.
Yep.
And so they're desperately like,
they're desperate. That's why, aliens.
Right.
Nuclear war. Because they're fucking desperate.
Right. Yeah. And so once that domino falls, like you said, every other domino falls, because every country's monetary system is directly linked to the dollar. So when the dollar goes bust and goes to zero, every other country goes bust too, and it's gonna be lights out, motherfuckers.
Lights out.
All of our addictions, distractions, all of our games are gonna be turned off. Just like if you had to teach your child, just like I am right now. Just this week, I had to take all Noah's electronics away. Because he's fucking 8 years old, still shitting in his pants. So just like I have to teach you a fucking lesson, the same thing. Like the vast majority, like I think I know that's yours, by the way.
Can I drink this?
Yeah, of course.
You see me eyeing
we got to start telling people because.
I'm like, can I have some of your?
I know I've had many of those near-death experiences through ayahuasca. So like for me, like I've been waiting for fucking 17 years for this motherfucker to crash. And I know this guy's been waking up like fucking crazy. And so I know you're awake. So for us, it's like, hey, when this shit hits the fan, like I'm big on community. So it's like, he knows like, hey, you fucking just come over here, bring fucking Kate, I got food, we got guns, we live by the river, we got fucking, we have a somewhat of a plan. These other motherfuckers, they don't have a plan. This shit's gonna be.
Well, they think we're crazy.
Oh yeah, I could care less what they think.
But there will be an emergency broadcast system. It will be
Friday on a Friday.
It's going to happen because, like I said, you can't tell them. You got to show them. There will be military tribunals that will go on for years and years and years. But there will be some main ones that will be put on your phone, on the TV, 24/7 an hour, 24/7 for 10 days straight. Boom. That's all you'll be able to see. Look at here, read. Because like, here you dumb motherfuckers. Here's your proof. Boom, boom.
But I want you to imagine this, because I really think that oftentimes people give them way more credit than they deserve. When the dollar crashes, no one goes to work. If no one goes to work and someone runs their car into the transformer that powers your neighborhood, your fucking power goes out.
Oh, I know.
So when you're talking about, there's going to be this broadcast. No, there's not.
Yes, Starlink.
Maybe but there's no electricity in your neighborhood. How are you going to get when your phone dies?
It's going to happen.
I don't think it will.
It will happen.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Because I think the power has to go, especially in America. The power has to go out because we're going to have to learn some very valuable lessons that we've completely got our heads up our asses.
Oh, we're going to have no choice.
But I don't, because again, when there's no money, there is no military. Because 90% of military work for money. When they don't work for money, the police are already quitting. Fucking San Francisco's hiring fucking... You don't even need to be a U.S. citizen to be a police officer.
Oh, no, I know.
So when there's no money, no one works. So the people that are police officers for the paycheck, they ain't going to fucking work anymore. That's when their near-death experience will happen. And so although I think the military in Russia, in America, in the Middle East, in China... When all of these nation states crumble, these people are going to wake up and then they can just voluntarily, I'm not fucking doing this anymore. I don't work for you anymore. You don't pay me. So I think that they're going to lose all of their power when their whole power is derived from the money.
Absolutely.
So when the money goes away, they lose their power. And that's when we will be stripped back down to survival of the fittest. So I don't think that I'll
bet my life on it.
All right. Well, only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
But if we're in agreement that the dollar and all other fiat currencies are going to crash, then yeah, you will have these military groups that are just
all I know is it's going to be so bad that the military in all major cities everywhere will be literally the president. They will be policing everything.
But what would be the incentive for the soldier?
Power.
Because it's our fucking country, dude. No.
That's a false idol. There's no country. We're all one. There's only one country, Earth.
No, I live in America. Whenever I see the flag, I put my hand on my heart. I say I pledge allegiance. If I see it 10 times, I do that. If I'm in the military or the Marine, you're fucking right. I'll have my gun. I'll be in the street or in a tank and save my fucking city or my country. Sorry, you're not paying me. I'm not going to go do it.
Let me ask you this, though, because the reason why Gary named Galactic Cryptos, because the galactic consciousness, if we find out that there's all these aliens and
we will eventually.
Are you going to care about America or are you going to be a planet Earth person?
Right now, I'm an American and I'm on planet Earth. I live in Boise, Idaho, and this is what I'm doing.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think as an American, do you think you're better than Chinese?
Absolutely not.
Oh, then why would you worship?
Because this is where I live.
But it's a false idol.
Not to me, it's not.
How is... Okay.
This is where because this is where I live.
But so what?
Not so what to me.
But why? Okay, I guess another thing would be, I'm with you. I believe in the values that that the original America was built on.
Yes.
That's dead. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly.
So then why would you go fight for ideal? They don't care about you. We've already agreed. Why would you defend that ideal?
Why wouldn't I?
No, why would you?
Because.
So you would go drive. You're going to kill your brothers and sisters?
I'm not going to kill anybody. When my dad died at his house, and they came and put the
military
flag over him, and took him out because he served the military,
right,
to protect our country.
He served the fucking empire. The tanks and the guns and the military work for the empire. So you're saying you'd go work for the empire.
I'm not working for anybody.
But you're saying that, though, what I'm saying is most people are working in the military for money. When that money's gone, they're not working for the empire anymore.
Okay, well, I'm not going to get into that. I hear what you're saying, but I disagree.
All right. Fair enough.
That's like saying, fuck the military, fuck protecting...
I do say that. Fuck them all.
Fuck protecting our country. Let all the Mexicans, let all the people come invade. Let them fucking take our shit.
Hey.
Fuck it. Just let it shit show. Let's let it go.
Your forefathers did that to the natives. This land is stolen. I can trace my family back to the 1500s. My family came over with Christopher Columbus.
Okay, so then let's give you $1 million like they give all the people.
No, I don't want it. I don't even care.
I don't care about
I would never call myself American. I'm a human being.
I am a human being. I am a human being that lives in America, where freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
that's what that.
But America doesn't give you that freedom. God gave you that freedom. It says it right in the Bill of Rights. God gave you that, not America. So I would stand and fight for that. I would be the one shooting those soldiers that are fighting for the empire, because they're the ones trying to take your rights away.
But in even beyond all of that, though, is what Gary's getting at is that we're all humans.
We are all humans, and I live in America.
Yeah, but if you think about it, America is nothing in the universe. Right?
Well, and you know what? When we become part of that galactic federation where we're flying around in ships and we're meeting with them and living 1,000 years old, I'll talk to you. But right now, it's a shit show, and I mean.
So you're deciding to live in the present, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. But I guess the only thing that I can think about is why join the masses when.
Oh, I'm far from joining the masses.
But that's what the masses are. All of them care about all of that stuff, and all that we care about, and all that is just helping people, loving everybody.
And I've done that my whole adult life. That's how I live my life.
I guess, yeah. It just sounds like when you say like, "Hey, crossing your heart, hope to die," is no different than Heil Hitler.
I never say hope to die.
It doesn't matter. When you cross your heart and you worship a false idol. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. One nation
Listen
under
to
God,
those words.
Liberty,
I pledge allegiance to a flag, a false idol.
Okay, that's your opinion. I respect what the flag represents to me is different than what it does to you.
You're 100%.
Yes.
To me, it's no different than Nazis. Germany.
It is to me because I mean, American flag. We didn't. Okay, I'm not going to compare the fucking American flag to Heil Hitler and the Nazi whatever bullshit.
How is it different though?
It's really?
Yeah, totally. How
is it not?
In the last 23 years, America has killed more innocent men, women, children than every other country combined. A flag is a flag. So a flag is an ideal. When you pledge your allegiance and cross your heart, that is a blood oath. Just like you're talking, those elites have tricked you into doing a blood oath. I haven't been tricked into nothing. But that's when you do that, you're following the masses. It's a blood oath.
Nope.
I pledge my allegiance is a blood oath. You're crossing your heart and giving your allegiance to the fucking empire.
Nope.
All right.
Sorry, dude. I love you, but no.
Yeah, totally fair.
Because the motherfuckers that take the flag out of the school, take the flags out everywhere, those are those guys. Where the real flag came from.
Yeah, those guys are plugged into the fucking Matrix.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, they're all part of the empire. They all work for the empire.
All right.
Everybody in public school.
I don't think when Betsy Ross was selling the fucking flag that she was like, I'm going to go eat a baby.
I don't know her.
I don't know her either, but I believe that.
Yeah, I don't worship the founding fathers. Well, I don't know who they are.
Well, I do, and I will continue. Whenever I see a flag, I will do that.
I would never fault you for that. I'm just trying to put some ideas in your head to maybe have you question.
And I still don't question anything.
Then no sweat at all. But here's another thing I really wanted to talk about is your experience with UFOs.
Well, I've only had one, and now I realize that it was an American UFO.
What the hell's an American UFO?
Well, most of the UFOs that people see are our own.
You think so? Have you seen that?
Because the UFO that I saw, I think I was 12. It was probably, there was like 10 of us that saw it. It was like 50 feet above our head. Perfect metal disc, just hovered. You could see the windows, the portals, just hovered. Just wow. And it was gone. But where I saw that at, my parents had gotten divorced. I was staying at Peace Air Force in New Hampshire. Right. We saw it on an Air Force base. And I remember, we ran across the street to these two military guys getting out of their truck. Oh my God, did you guys see that? They're like, they saw it. They were like, what are you? So to see a blatant craft on one of the most, which the Air Force is basically closed down now, but it was one of the most strategic Air Forces bases at the time. And there was no sirens, no action, nothing going on. Just it's hovered there and took off.
How fast? Like in a blink of an eye? Like teleported?
It didn't vanish. No, it literally was that fast that it was gone. It didn't teleport. It literally took off and went fast.
I will say this, and I don't know if my dad's keeping secrets from me, but my dad was satellite command for the Air Force. And, he said, I can't disagree or deny, or I can't agree or tell you if there wasn't UFOs, but what I can tell you is there's a lot of shit moving in patterns faster than our radars can pick up. And, basically he's telling me that there are UFOs, and I mean, I guess the thing that I would think about, right, is if you're in Air Force Base and you see something moving that quick, and you've been seeing something move that quick for such a long amount of time, would you react every single time you saw something move that fucking fast? You would just be like, oh, well, yeah, there's no way we're going to fucking catch it.
Yeah, there it is again.
Yeah, oh, there it is again.
Yeah, just like we were talking about. You get desensitized to anything you see repeatedly.
Yeah. So why would they react every single time? They probably wouldn't, They just...
Or after you knew it was one of ours, you're like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, again, going back to the Nazis, Hitler was big into that stuff.
Oh, did you one of the war they had at the Antarctica? It was watch the documentary.
You think it was a war, or they were just exploring?
No, there's a documentary. It's called Hitler's UFOs. He was obsessed with that technology. He was obsessed with
So there's another thing I saw probably 2 weeks ago, and I was excited that you were coming on because I did want to bring it up. And I don't know. I obviously see a lot of shit online, right? But I recently saw that the continents that you see now, that there's other continents, and the Earth is much bigger than what we're told. And these other continents are higher above beings, and we're basically just little worker ants that mine all the gold and diamonds and stuff. What do you think about all that shit?
Oh yeah,
have you seen that? Yeah, a Garth was what what if everything we've fucking been told was a lie?
Well, pretty much the powers that you pretty much people that know all this stuff will tell everybody you would literally have to erase everything you've been taught, because it's all a lie.
More and more I think
every bit of it. Oh, I wish I could find it. I think it was in 1912, the Grand Canyon. The shit they found in the Grand Canyon.
The fucking Egypt pyramids and shit. Yeah, man.
Then the Smithsonian comes. Oh, what a great find! Take pictures. Military comes and shuts it down.
Yep. Yeah, you cannot fucking go down there at all. Yeah, no one. They'll fucking choppers are always served. Yeah, there's some shit in there for
in
sure.
The Grand Canyon. And the reason why that explorer found that, because Native Americans who lived in the Grand Canyon back then,
the Hopi, I think,
they told them, they knew all of it. It was
oh yeah, there's some pyramids.
Common knowledge to them,
yeah, no big deal.
Fucking mind blown.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, that's fucking. There's some. Yeah. But so if they lied about some things, why wouldn't they lie about everything?
But did you watch the Disclosure Project? Dr. Stephen Greer. It was I
was just gonna ask you that. The fifth.
They did a press conference 20 years ago in Washington D.C.
Okay.
Wouldn't you think it'd be on the news all over the place? Where they had the most credible people from NASA, military people, answered questions. And one lady said she's I had a job at NASA from 19 blah, 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 to blah, 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 blah. She's my job at NASA was to airbrush all the photographs from the Mars and the moon, where there's bridges and glass domes and blah, 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 blah.
What?
Yes.
What?
And then another guy, a 5-star general, high up people, to ask him questions, blah, 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 blah. And the Prime Minister of Defense from Canada, he's given many saying, yes, I met with aliens. They're aliens. They're here to help us. Then the one guy is well, to my knowledge, I've only been in contact personally, face to face, with 7 different alien races.
But if they're here to help and they have this all this advanced power, why? My whole thing is always why don't they intervene now?
Because Galactic Federation, and the rule is you can't. Because we're still so fucking retarded and so dumbed down. When you reach certain higher consciousness, then
they're ready.
Then
it's you don't pull a cake out of the oven too soon.
No, then when you're even close to being on the level of being worthy of this, then.
And you think we're getting close. And you think that, like, the shit has to crumble. I think it has to burn to the fucking ground.
It has to burn to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
It has to burn.
And those that survive will, I think, and this is just the way how I've downloaded it, is that those who survive will have learned our consciousness and our spirituality, our spirit will have evolved so far going through that when we get through on the other end, we will be so enlightened.
And there's a name for that, but 100 million %. What's transpiring is going to happen.
Transcend.
It's just like you think about it, it makes your head spin because you're just like, it's fucking going to happen. It's coming.
Yeah.
Well, what? Well,
no one's ever seen it, so there's nothing for us to refer to.
When you listen to like the walks of life, spiritually, people who get this, they say that this is the greatest, and the aliens all know this. Because Earth plays an important role in the galactic whatever.
Totally.
This is the greatest. We were chosen to be here.
Like the Dolores Cannon type shit?
This is the great... Yes.
Yeah.
This is the greatest time to be alive. We're so... Because what's going to happen and transpire is just going to be like... For those of us who are like... It's going to...
And that's why, like, biblical. She says, like, the volunteers.
Yep.
The waves of volunteers that are coming down. She's like, these, because again, like, we've just incarnated in these robot suits, but really, like, our spirits, you know, like, I look at, like, Noah, like, man, that kid is just so freaking advanced, like, spiritually, emotionally. Yeah, he might not be able to wipe his own ass, but he, you know, he's very emotionally in tune and shit like that. So yeah, I just think that, like, what you're saying, it's so exciting because Earth is, like, let's say, like an incubator or like an oven, and humans or these spiritual beings come on Earth to learn lessons and grow, and we've gotten to this point in evolution where, like, again, we're at the galactic level of consciousness, and once we get to that level fully, then we will, like you said, be worthy, and we can leave the planet. And then once we can leave the planet, then obviously visitors will come and say, hey, here's some new technology and shit. Let's build some blah, blah, blah. We can leave. And then what's something that's come to me recently through all this shit I've watched and stuff is like clockwork. Something happens. There's a cataclysm that resets Earth, and not everyone dies. Like the Great Flood and all of these things that have happened in the past, like, even when we make it through this, what I call the period of darkness, and some of us our consciousness has evolved to that level where we can leave. Not everyone gets to leave, or not everyone does leave. I shouldn't say gets to leave, just not everyone does leave. And something happens to kind of wipe the motherboard, and then we have to start. Humanity starts over on this planet, and then we just play over again, you know, and get to, I think that we've played at this level before many times on this planet. Or let's not even call this planet, this dimension, because this is just a dimension. Like, even our ideas of the planet, you know, round or flat, however you want to see it, whatever. But like, but how I haven't fucking been up high, and just like your dad, you know, what he saw on the radar screen, like, what if what he saw was manipulated and that really there was other continents outside of it? Like, I don't know, and I'm not going to believe what I'm told until I experience it for myself, or unless I get these downloads that I get myself.
But if you have true satellite imagery of planets that are round, they're fucking round. I
haven't personally been up in space to look down and say, yeah, that's round. Well, I don't believe those satellite images.
I just know that, well, I do, but I just know that if I'm God or whatever, and I'm going to create a planet, I'm not going to make it fucking flat.
I wouldn't even make it a planet. It'd be a hologram. This is a holographic reality that we're living in.
I think all the planets that are real are round. If you're going to make a planet, that's just, I mean, if you're going to make a planet, I'm going to make them all flat. They're not going to go like this.
I'm not saying flat or round. I'm saying I believe it is a holographic virtual reality.
Well, you're deeper than I am.
Because even round is a concept that we have come to all agree upon until that idea is challenged. Just like at one time, we all humans, or I shouldn't say all, but the vast majority believed that everything revolved around the earth until some motherfucker called Copernicus came around and said, you guys are all wrong. And they said, you'd better change that or we're going to kill you. And he said, fuck you. And they're like, off with his head. And then then it came to be common knowledge that, oh, guess what? Everything revolves around the sun. But what if even that wasn't true? So we keep learning these things that cause a paradigm shift. But when you hold on to these ideals so firm, like, oh, the planet's round or whatever it is that you believe in, just like in the Matrix, there are people who are willing to die defending their ideals, even in favor of the truth. I would rather just say, I don't know fucking anything. And until I experience it with my own fucking two eyes, I don't believe it. Or I'm just going to believe what I believe that God or whatever the fuck is out there, it gives me messages. And that's where I get the idea, dude, this is a fucking video game. It's a hologram. And outside of what we can see in this room right now, it's just fucking code. Just like the Matrix. But we are like a computer. And once you leave the room, you're going to keep creating frame by frame, 24 frames per second. This reality that we're living in. So I don't believe it's fucking round. I don't believe it's flat. I think it's a fucking hologram.
It's a round hologram.
Whatever.
But the moon has not always been in our solar system.
I have no idea.
Do you think it's like a Death Star?
It was placed there.
Oh.
I think it could. I think it could possibly have been a Death Star. It doesn't revolve.
It doesn't.
That's weird.
It was placed there.
Huh.
For what purpose do you think?
I'm not going to go down that giant rabbit hole. But whenever you watch all those science fiction movies, there's some truth to them. Like Gene Roddenberry, I don't know exactly how to explain it. Gene Roddenberry, the writer of Star Trek, he was privy. He was able to sit in on things, government, military wise, whatever. A lot of that stuff that when you see on Star Trek was based on information it's true.
Do you think that there's a chance also that he was eating a lot of mushrooms?
No.
You don't?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, have you ever had a wild ass trip?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've gotten some wild ass downloads in those
and
states.
The reason, and Trump was the one that introduced Space Force, but we've had Space Force. Our Space Force is Star Trek. We've been able to go interdimensional for decades.
I mean, I wouldn't.
It's the truth.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past. Like Nikola Tesla was talking about time, teleportation, and even right now, there's enough energy in the ionosphere that we could just be pulling it right out.
One of the main reasons why they invaded Iraq wasn't for oil; it was to get their Stargate, and it was to get a.
I mean, that does not. There's that huge ass building in the middle of the desert in Iraq.
And the first thing they did was go to the museums and take all these ancient artifacts.
That's right. Dang, that's right.
Because Saddam Hussein was privy to all of that stuff. He knew all kinds of stuff.
Interesting.
Just take that motherfucker out. Same way that they didn't take. Omar Gaddafi wasn't a dictator. Do you know everybody in Libya was given a house? Do you know that their country was so rich, each citizen got a stipend of the money they got from their gold?
We were just talking about that the other day, yeah.
Did you know that if you're...
From their gold?
Their country was backed by gold, trillions and trillions of dollars. Libya was...
So oil and gold.
Libya was free. That's why, we don't need anybody. We are good here. If you had a brain tumor, if you had a disease, no matter what you had, if the doctors in Libya couldn't find it, they would fly you to wherever in the United States or the world, and they paid for it.
Whoa. I mean, yeah, so it was a flourishing country.
Let's take that motherfucker out.
Right.
We can't have that shit. Gotta squash that now.
I mean, it always goes back to, if they lie about one thing, they'll lie about everything. So, like, anything we've ever been told through the propaganda machine, it's a lie, Because what I took from it was, Gaddafi was talking about, hey, we're going to create a gold-backed currency. We're going to start trading oil in our own currency. And they're like, no, you're not. And so, like, hey, we got to take these motherfuckers out. Yep. And then they get everybody in America to back it by saying, oh, this guy's a bad guy.
And every dime anyone's paid into the IRS went to the Vatican and to London. We were a corporation, bankrupt corporation.
100%. Oh, yep. Yeah, man. I mean, we're very privy to that shit.
It's the levels of just, it's mind-blowing.
But the greater level is, and I guess it's not too mind-blowing because I think that just like with someone who's a liar, every lie they tell has to be bigger and grander than the previous lie to keep the game going. But what's happening now is because every lie has to be bigger, it's waking more people up. Like the whole COVID thing was such a grandiose lie, but it woke so many people up that now people are like, I don't fucking trust you. And now because again, as that dollar, because everybody's life revolves around money. Everybody's out there sucking dicks to make that money. But when that money's gone, they're like, oh my gosh. And as that thing's losing value, they're going to start questioning.
But then you have everything that we've talked about. All of it. But when the whole underlying beast of the whatever is children and babies and death and sacrifices, the powers that be, God, aliens who are good, gotta be like, okay, motherfuckers, time is up. This is done. You know what I mean? You just can't.
Why had they let it go on for so long?
Part of the whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
part of the whatever. But I mean, centuries, and it's because because now it's just gotten to where it's just like insanity.
But do you really think that? Because actually, I would say that the planet is better than it's ever been. I think there's less murder, there's less rape than ever before.
Just more babies being eaten.
I don't know. I believe that there are. But I don't know if it's more than ever before.
Oh, it's more than ever before.
I mean, we can't prove that.
Yeah, they can.
No, they can't.
I think they can.
I mean, prove it.
I can't prove it because I don't have the whatever.
So see, then you're just believing in something you can't prove. I refuse to do that.
There's over 1 million kids that go missing a year in the United States. That's just in the United States that they know of. That's not even the people that are having babies that don't have social security numbers, that aren't undocumented or whatever. Who cares? It's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think it's more than ever before.
I think it's more than ever before.
Fair enough. I think it's been happening forever. I think it was easier in the past than it was now. So why wouldn't it be more?
That demon, that evil demonic entity that's partakes in that is way bigger than it ever was. Because it's everywhere. It's in Hollywood. It's in every fucking walk of life. You can't grow and prosper unless you fucking eat a baby or partake in this evil demonic bullshit.
I mean, that could be true, but it kind of goes back to what we were talking about. Is like when you explain this narrative that you just did, it reminds me of the Eye of Sauron. And when you look into that eye, it's fucking got your soul. The key is to not look at it. The key, you can either choose to believe that the world is getting better in spite of it all, or it's getting worse.
Oh, okay.
I choose to believe that it's getting better.
Oh, it's going to, yes.
Not going to, it already is.
Okay.
It's better than it's ever been.
Better than it's ever been.
Okay.
But for the people who get sucked into staring at that it's getting worse, it's getting worse for you.
Yes.
Yeah, there's more money available today than ever before. So if you're fucking poor, if you're broke in America, fuck, that's your fault.
Absolutely.
There's a fucking internet. I know I have friends in fucking India that are fucking... If there's people in India that are killing it and you're in America not killing it, fuck, that's your problem.
Yep.
You're a fucking loser.
You're fucking pathetic.
You're losing the game of life.
Absolutely.
Because you're choosing to get sucked into those narratives that they want you to get sucked into.
Yep.
Because then they can control you.
Yep.
But I don't think that I don't think it's worse than it's ever been.
Makes sense.
But it's also like day and night. It's always 50-50, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, it's always 50-50. So right now we're in this interesting time where it's darkest before the dawn, right? And so, yeah, it might be dark, but it's still better. It's still always the same. And so like what we're talking about is, hey, yeah, it might be crazy because it's about to get really fucking amazing. The brightness is we're about to be in that sunrise. And then as the yugas would talk about, like, man, we will over the next 1,000 years, our mental power will grow so strong, we will be able to create out of the nothing. And then what happens is that, it's noon, it's the brightest. And then it starts to get darker, then sunset, we start to become lazy. Once our mental powers reach its peak, then we start to become lazy and we start to forget. And then we go back into that period of darkness. That's what I'm talking about, was throughout history, there are these cataclysms that happen, and they're almost perfectly timed. And they're almost perfectly timed with like the astrological signs, like the age of Pisces, like that we're just coming out of and into the age of Aquarius. Like that's, about 2,600 years. Before that was the age of Aries, or the bull. And so something happens that kind of changes and has to reset everybody, but who fucking knows,
Well, it's going to be a reset.
Yeah, for those that aren't resetting themselves now, for sure. Because if we have an opportunity, if you can wake up now and get your shit together and heal your karma and stuff like that, like you're not going to suffer as bad. But if you refuse, and again, you're holding on to those old, outdated beliefs and ideas that they're not true anymore, you will you'll go down with the ship.
So, I guess, because this has obviously been, a great conversation so far, but what does like the day in life of Cora Todd look like? Like, do you wake up, fucking, are you reading scriptures of some sort, or
no.
you praying to, because I do see you post some,
I pray all day long, or talk to whatever all day long.
Yeah.
Like out loud.
Okay. Yeah.
So I start my day. Do it all day long.
Nice. And
I'd be lost and depressed if I didn't talk to something.
Yeah. Drinking coffee, drinking water, being like
way too much coffee, not near enough water.
Okay.
God, every day for the last 5 years. Tomorrow I'll work out. Tomorrow I'll eat better. Tomorrow I'll work out. Tomorrow I'll eat better. Tomorrow, and then I get up. And I'm like, okay, just one more pancake, just one more milkshake.
Just losing those negotiations.
Oh, but it's
yeah.
And then my birthday's in June, and then right around May, I'm like, okay, I have a month to really put this to get, and I'm doing it again. Okay, by June 17th, I will have had So
what would you think that you would need to do to change that? Like, what drastic change would you need to happen to change all that?
I don't know.
Do you think that, like, with all, like, hanging out in the rabbit holes, it brings you down?
Doesn't bring me down.
It doesn't?
I'm so excited because I know the worse it gets, the more excited I get. Like, the more crazy shit happens, because I know the end result. I know it's coming.
Yeah.
And I'm so like, I try to tell you. No, I can't wait.
Oh, wow.
I'm very, 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 I'm ecstatic. I'm so happy I lose sleep over. I'm just like, well, because I know it's amazing. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be hard as fuck. I become very nihilistic in the sense of, like, it's like, what's the fucking point of anything?
I don't think it's going to be as hard as you, and I don't think it's going to be as hard as you think it is. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think it's going to be way harder than you think it's going to be.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be like, wow, that sucked, but wow, that didn't last as long as I thought it would.
You don't think there will be total civil war and civil unrest in America? Really? Wow.
Nope.
That's wild.
You think it'll just be over in a blink of an eye?
No.
Compared to life, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Compared to life?
Yeah, like, the last fucking 2 years of my life has been a blink of an eye.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Even Kate's pregnancy. It's like every day I wake up, I'm like, fuck, I can't believe she's only like 17 months away from having this, or 17 weeks away from having this kid now.
Yep.
And it seems like just yesterday, she told me she was pregnant, So in like, as far as like life goes, I remember when I was a kid, every day seemed like a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
drug on forever.
Yeah. And now.
Forever. Now it's just like.
Wow, it's been a month already. And so, 3 months to me is the second,
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I think it's getting the bit rate, again, going back to, I think it's a fucking hologram. It's getting faster.
Yeah, I've said this before. I think that we're like a top and they're just spinning that top quicker and fucking quicker and quicker and quicker. And Yeah, man, it's crazy. But again, I also thought about this. Instead of looking at life like I'm only going to live 70 or 80 years, look at life like I'm going to live an eternity. And then it like, yeah, I don't know. At least I try to do that, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but when you get caught in the now and all the shit that we have to do, the stressors, all this shit, like, yeah, that's a really great perception. Is that would slow things down to be like, oh, I'm gonna live forever.
Yeah,
that's a whole other thing. Like, where do you, when you die, where do you go?
I think we just come back. Well, because our spirit is immortal.
Oh no, I don't believe that 100%. But what are, it's like, you're not going to see your mom again?
I think that we do actually reconnect with all the same people. It's like, have you seen that movie Cloud Atlas?
Yes.
I think it's like that. Like, even even years ago, Noah told me, like, we've done this before. So, like, if my kids, like, I think we reconnect every game. The closest relationships, like, you just reconnect in every iteration. Because, again, like, I think, like, that motherfucker looks like me. So it's like he is a reflection of my consciousness. So it's like we're just gonna meet up in the same game over. It doesn't matter who dies.
Even the way we did meet up was crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
He was with a group of people. I was with a group of people at the same place. We started talking. The people I were with were like, "Hey, we're going downtown." I was like, "You guys go downtown. I'm gonna kick it with this guy." And it was just, and it's happened even in waves in our friendship. Like at the beginning. We'd be friends and then we wouldn't talk for a while and then we were friends again. And now it's like, I can't remember the last week I didn't see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
It's mind blowing how it all works.
I don't try to figure it out.
No,
anymore.
But I mean, to be like, okay, that when you take your last breath, your soul, your spirit, and then it's just.
I mean, I guess I have my theories, like, on where you go, because I've been there. 100%, I've been there.
The people that have died and came back, some went to heaven, some went to hell. Well, what was their trip? What was their... Oh, my mom and my aunt and my cousin were there to meet me, and the Lord Jesus told me to go back. It's not your time yet, and...
Yeah. But like the story is heard of people that have near-death experience, like the ones that go through hellish conditions, they were living kind of shitty lives, so they needed that to wake them up. Like my very first ketamine session at the clinic, like I was with all my ancestors. Like I could feel the Viking, the fucking pirate. Like I could feel their energy. Like they were fucking there with me, So it's just like when you hear these stories when older people do die, like their old relationships come back because like you're about to go into this whole new dimension that is so unfamiliar to you. But they talk about it in like the Tibetan Book of the Dead is like for 49 days after you die, you're gonna go through these what they call bardos. And there are these stages of the afterlife where you get to relive your life and try to clean up your karma before you get shit out again to do it again. And then you just you start over, and then you get to the level that you got to in the last iteration, and maybe you get to the next level, maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. When the game's infinite and we are going to live forever, there's no rush. There's no hurry to any of it. So it's like, hey, are you going to learn your lessons this time? You going to grow as a spiritual being, or are you going to be a degenerate in this lifetime too? Doesn't matter either way. But we just keep coming back over and over. And that's why like so many people right now, it really does more and more. It's been like making me sad to like go on Instagram, for example, and see like the women that are selling their fucking souls on selling their feet, selling their fucking bodies. Like there's this big trend now. It really is disgusting me. Like the thing where they wear very sheer dresses so you can see their fucking labias. It's like they're degrading themselves even more and more. Like you're selling your soul for money and for attention. Like you're not you've hit a peak. Like, your only worth, your only value is selling your fucking body for some money. Like, you ain't growing. You're gonna be one of those motherfuckers that when the shit's fed, you're dead. You ain't gonna fucking make it. You can't even make it now without selling your body. You have no value to bring to the world except for your fucking labia through a fucking sheer dress, you know? It's like, man, this shit's crazy to me. And then conversely, like, men that just like have been so disconnected from their masculinity, you know?
Fuck,
and
dude, I saw a video today of some chick in New York. Some guy was fucking all chained up and shit, and she had a dog collar on him and was walking him down the street.
in real life, New York?
I sent it to you.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That's cool. That's fun, though.
Oh, that's fun on a Friday afternoon. But yeah, it's like, man, we've just become... Oh, that's weird, man. I mean, yeah, like, just to be...
A simp.
Yeah, and just be disrespected and... Man, it's, I mean, all
well, it's
for...
just as fucked up as the school, I think in Napa or Caldwell, they had to put a litter box in the bathroom at the school because the child's identified as a cat.
Shut up.
Swear my mother's grave.
They didn't send the kid home? Say, if you want to act like that, you ain't coming back.
Dude, my little sister,
if you look at
13, just told me she goes to Meridian Middle, and she was telling me she was getting bullied at school. And so I was talking to her, and I was like, by who? And she's like, the cool kids at school. And I was like, you know, picturing the jocks and the fucking cheerleaders. They're fucking furries.
Furries. When you look
they wear ears and fucking tails.
When you look at, a lot of times if you look at, fill out male, female, trans, what's your pronouns, blah, blah, blah. Furries, one of the options. You can put a furry, whatever animal.
Like in an application?
Yes.
What?
Furries. Furry is a thing.
What?
Furry.
Oh, man, I really hope this shit goes down tomorrow. Dude.
And when you can give hormone blockers to 6, 7, 8, 9 year, 10-year-olds to mutilate their whatever.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Oh man.
And now if you're new kid, and I find out about it, hey, their kid wants to become a girl, but their parents won't let them. That's child abuse. They'll take your kid away from you, and they'll give it a sex change because you're not doing its thing. That's become illegal.
And that was one
Washington.
thing that I recently...
DC passed that law. And
I saw I have a lot, because obviously I have gay friends. I don't fucking care.
Of course. I
love everybody the same, you know? And, you know, I saw a lot of people posting about that HB, whatever it was. And I Google searched the law they were passing and then read it. And I was like, man, what are all these people protesting against? Like, basically states that you can't give hormone blockers and you can't fucking chop kids' dicks off when they're little kids. And I'm like, man, why do you think that, like, yeah, wait till you can't even fucking smoke cigarettes until you're 18.
Well, no, prior to all this, if you wanted to have a sex change, you had to go through years and years of psychotherapy and psychology with a psychologist, like 4 years of it, to make sure that, okay, now you have to live with it, you know what I mean? Now you're 6 years old. Okay, yep, we're gonna give you some tits.
But again, going back to the Eye of Sauron, even us talking about it, like, it's rather than us like look at, I mean, I can speak for myself, like, it's affecting me emotionally. I need to be like, okay, I need to be the example to my community, to my son, to my baby mama, to my brothers. I have to be an example so that we can band together. Like, hey, I'm not going to protest. Like,
no, absolutely.
And I'm not going to. I don't want it to affect me. So that's what's happening. I have to rise above it.
Exactly. Yes, I agree.
Because it will fucking.
Yep, I agree.
In fact, like, big, like, we had Marcus on Friday, and man, like, something that's really hit me is like, I need to focus, and I need to do what I need to do so that I can pull my son out of that. So that I can just pay his mother enough money to be my assistant or whatever, so he can go to online school. And so that, like, I need to just I need to bring him even closer.
One of my clients took her kid out of school in Eagle because she showed me they were teaching in their school that to the kids there's 101 different genders. 101.
Fucking 101 Dalmatians.
101. One's depending on what day of the week it is, depending on what group of people you're hanging out with. Whatever. 101 different genders.
Dang, man.
Fucking one.
That's wild. That's wild, man.
Yeah, but what's even more fucked up...
Those are the people that are just too sucked into the game.
Yeah, but what's fucked up is there's a group of people sitting in a room putting this down, and then here's the schools. Okay, teach us 101 different genders. Sounds good to me. Just...
This goes back to what we've talked a lot about on this show is spells.
Right.
You know, they're under a spell, you know?
Spells are real.
100%, yeah.
Spells are real. Oh my God.
Yeah, so, you know, and I get it, because also the big spell this day is acceptance, is like everyone's tiptoeing. They don't want to be considered a bigot. They don't want to be considered somebody that is targeting other people. You know what I mean? Like, there is a witch hunt. It's a current witch hunt, and it's for people that believe in normal shit. And if you believe in normal shit, you're a bad person right now.
Yep. These clients, I did their hair for years, since the daughter was like 7. Then she's 18. She posts on Instagram a picture of herself. So happy to live in a city that lets me be non-binary, blah, 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 blah. So I made a comment. I said, Casey, I've known you since you were 6. You're 18 now. In this picture, you have long hair, lipstick. You can tell you have breast. You're wearing a dress. You're a fucking woman. Oh, they disown me. Stop coming to me. Sent me horrible messages. How dare you not honor our child's pronouns?
Dang, man.
What? And you're just, what the fucking... How dare you not honor our daughter's pronouns?
But it's like we just got to feel compassion because they're under a spell. They're under a spell.
But they were the same people that will come in to get their haircut and look around and throw a fit and want to leave because why isn't that guy wearing a mask? I'm like, because he doesn't fucking have to. Well, yeah. I don't know if he's not wearing a mask. I don't know if we can see you later. Yeah, they're those people.
Well, that's, again, a spell. Is,
yes.
Hey, you need to accept me, but I don't need to accept you. Yeah, that's wild.
Yo.
Yeah, I mean, it's false. It's false acceptance.
It's wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, and hey, I've fallen for so many fucking spells, you know?
Oh, yeah, God, of course.
Yeah.
I would never say I'm perfect by any fucking stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah. You name it, I've been through it, right? And even now, sometimes I'm like, oh, fuck, you know, you fall back into your old ways, or you fucking eat ice cream a couple nights in a row, or, you know, fucking, you just...
Oh, then I'm living a spell.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. That's
motherfucker, I'm living a spell.
That's what that shit is, man.
Jesus,
because just like him, he's had these experiences. I
gotta break the spell.
I had a similar experience, and they told me that the thing that is asleep is masculinity, and that they're trying to hush because only good, strong men can save the world. And I just truly believe that. You know what I mean?
Look at. I posted a thing of some of the military that we have that are trans. They're men that are dressing as women now in our military, and I posted that picture of that. Then a picture of like some of the Russian military who they're like men. They don't have that over there. And
tree trunk motherfuckers.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was just like you look at like the military people who are getting sex changes and who are trans or dressing as women. It's just fucking.
But also, we've talked about this recently, and this is gonna push your button, but what if America was the bad guy the whole time?
Oh, but they are.
Yeah,
they have been. That's not even a button.
So what if China and Russia and like the unification of the Middle East? Like, what if they're right? Because they're very much about like values and morals. And I've heard some of Putin's speeches, and he's
Putin's amazing. Putin denounced like last year. He said the Rothschilds, the New World Order, the blah blah. He said those words. They're dead here. They are gone. They are done, and they're not there. He said it, and then he probably saw his speech where he came out and said that America is just a bunch of fuck up, satanic, fucking pedophile blah. Mm-hmm. But you're right. We're we're the worst motherfuckers in the world.
Well, it's like Ray Dalio has this scale, of an empire, and as the empire starts to go into decline, like that's what we're in. We're just in decline. We've just been spoiled ass little brats, entitled motherfuckers, and now it's like you're going to pay the consequences for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And these other countries have woken up and said, "Oh, whoa, man, we ain't going down that path. So we'll let you go down that path, but." You're going to...
Well, they've all sold out to China, literally.
But what if China were the good guys?
Well, there's a part of China that's a good guy, and there's a part of we have good and bad. Part of China is good and part of China is bad.
All right, I see what you're saying. I'm just always going to go back to I haven't been there. So anything I see on the internet or on the TV, I don't believe.
No, I know, but I don't have to go to China. I don't have to be in the military. I mean, I'm just taking what I've gotten from credible people that I've listened to, like my client Juan, who's very brilliant and really almost too smart. I mean, they've been sending young Chinese dudes to universities. They're soldiers.
They're finding police stations all over the U.S. Yeah, they're infiltrating. And there's even places in Idaho where they've just given acres to, here you go, here's a present. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. But again, like, hey, the best way to overthrow an empire is just let them rot from the inside out. And then once they're rotten, then you just walk right in and take the place over. That's why when I asked, do you think there will be like civil war, civil unrest? Like to me, it's like, oh, of course. Like it's already headed down that path. And so then China and Russia and the Middle East, they'll just be able to walk right in.
Oh, no one's walking right in. It ain't going to happen. Nobody's walking in.
Not over this dead body. Not if I have anything to say about it.
You know what have you guys ever seen the movie Birdcage?
With Robin Williams?
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing movie. That part where he's like more like John Wayne, and then he walks, and then he's like, was it bad? And he's like, no, actually, I just never realized John Wayne walked like that. So funny, dude. Oh man.
Just all bow-legged.
No, it was great. I just never realized John Wayne walked like that.
Oh my It's gonna get bad, but it's gonna get really, really, really fucking good.
Oh, I mean, but it's gonna take 50 years.
Oh no! It won't even take 2 years.
What? I mean, I hope so, but we'll see.
It won't even take. No, it won't take 2 years.
I mean, I hope so.
Well, because
I think the worst of it, I think you're right. The worst
that would
of it,
mean it's not gonna. I won't see it in my lifetime. And if that was the case,
no. Oh, I mean, it will take 50 years for us to rebuild. Not even 50, because in that 2 years, like we've already agreed that it's got to completely burn to the ground. That means that the phoenix has to rise from those ashes.
That's exactly what it's going to do.
So it's going to take 50 years for us to get to a utopia.
Oh, no. Well, I'm not. I don't know.
Well, if let's say if 80...
I think it's going to be really great and amazing while I'm still alive.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
Phenomenal.
Oh, a utopia. I think a utopia. Yeah.
Like, I think in my lifetime, I'll be like, did you see that the so-and-so from the blah, blah, galaxy is... You guys want to go with me to go visit them?
Can you even...
For the week?
Can you believe that...
It's free. Let's go. Come on. I invited to a party. Yeah. Let's go.
That we because I grew up in the 90s, like let's say in 2040, it will be so wildly different than to look back on the 90s. Will be like we were like living like fucking cavemen. That is just wild to imagine.
It's all gonna be
How
wild.
stupid were we back in the freaking 2023? We were idiots.
Oh,
idiots. Yeah, man, that's wild. Well, man, love you, bro.
Love you, my brothers.
Man, that was phenomenal.